Okay, hello and welcome to today's podcast is actually for the Do The Work Academy. So I almost said to the Do The Work podcast there, but I guess it falls under the same umbrella. What I want to talk about today is 20 questions, 20 FAQs that people are asking around the Academy course. And so we're going to start with the most obvious and common question, which is, what is it? What are we doing? And what does it qualify me to do? So the Do The Work Academy is running level 3 personal training diploma qualifications, which allows you to practice as a PT in the UK and much wider internationally as well. There's a lot of courses out there that teach you how to be a PT, but they're not allowing you to be registered and insured to practice as a PT, whereas our course qualifies you to do that. It's off-qual registered. It is recognised by reps, so it allows you to practice as a PT and be insured, so you can work with clients on a one-to-one basis and a group basis, and you can help them lose weight, you can help them gain muscle, you can help them improve their ability at sport or whatever, just make them feel happier, healthier, have more energy and feel more confident, ultimately, which is what I help people with. But ultimately, it allows you to set up your own fitness business. It allows you to work self-employed. It includes support on the business aspect of how to do that as well, which is something that we really pride ourselves on. But it is a level 3 PT diploma, which allows you to act and fully work as a personal trainer within the fitness industry. How long does the course take to complete? So the course itself is 10 weeks long, in that your sessions with us will run over a 10-week period. The good thing about this course is that we can offer complete flexibility. So if it takes you a little longer, because studying for you just takes that little bit longer and you're struggling with either the practical or the theory side, we will actively work with you on that. And one thing is for sure is that you can't fail this course. It'll just be that you quit before that you pass. So it's up to us to get you through and essentially allow you to pass this course when all the boxes have been ticked and we're happy that you're competent and what have you. However, the set time that we make out is 10 weeks. It certainly won't be less than that, but it might be longer than that, and that's fine. So if you haven't ticked all the boxes by the end of the 10 weeks, that's no problem at all. We will work with you until you have passed the course. What's included in the course? So I should preface this with a lot more than what's included with most of the courses that are out there on the market now. So the big differentiator with what we do is that you're going to spend 40 hours minimum with us on a gym floor. Now, most of the courses now to become a PT are online based. And so you learn all the theory, but then it's a bit like learning your theory for a driving test and then getting into a car for the first time and like, what the hell am I doing? Whereas we will teach you actively on the gym floor how to work with people, how to actually put the personal into personal training, which you don't get from an online course. So you'll see us 4 hours per week in person at my gym at DoTheWorkHQ, and you're going to be doing over the course of those 10 weeks everything that you need to then become a competent personal trainer on the gym floor. And as I say, you're going to get hands-on experience from coaches that have had 10,000 of hours working within the fitness industry, but also you're going to be in and around people that are on the same journey as you, and that community feel and vibe is really helpful for you learning, understanding, bouncing ideas off each other, and ultimately, as I say, putting the personal back in the personal training rather than just doing an online course, which is ultimately the equivalent of passing your theory test and then getting in a car and thinking that you can drive. It just isn't going to work that way. So we make sure that we have a really dense practical element included. And then you also get access to the portal, which is everything that you need to fill out the theory aspect of the course, if you will. Within that, it's all completely coursework based. So other than your practical, there are no theory exams. It's all coursework based. You fill out booklets, and that gives us the opportunity to help you along the way. If there's a particular topic that you're struggling with, we can just work with you on that on a one-to-one level to get you through that booklet, to get you through to the next stage, essentially, which will allow you to ultimately pass the course. So we'll work with you both practically. You'll do 4 hours in person. You'll do 4 hours of self-study. Roughly, it varies from person to person, but that should be enough to get you through the course over the 10 weeks. How is your course different from the others? So again, you're getting hands-on practical experience with us. So rather than just being sat in front of a laptop like I am now, reading a load of theory and writing some things down on PDFs or what have you, you are going to be there on the gym floor, essentially being a personal trainer, being led by two very experienced personal trainers, and being on a gym floor and learning how that works, how to deal with people, how to actually teach exercises, how to spot things, how to do all the things that you need to actually be a personal trainer in the real world and not just behind a laptop. So the reason that we're different is that we're giving you at least 40 hours of in-person support with that. And we will also work with you and help you get to the next stage after you've passed your course, so that it's not just I've passed the course, what do I do now? It's that, okay, I've passed the course, here's the next levels of support that we can give you to ensure that you either get your first, place in a gym, for example, if you want to work in a commercial gym environment, or whether you're going to be going to people's homes or whatever it might be. But we'll give you the right guidance of support once you've qualified, not just to pass the course with you. Okay, so the next few questions are going to be based around like time, commitment, flexibility, that sort of thing. Can I do this course whilst working a full-time job? Most people that come on this course are doing full-time jobs that they hate and that they want to get out of. So it's designed in such a way that you can still do that. Is it going to be hard? Yes. We're asking for 8 hours a week, so 4 hours on a Saturday. Most people work Monday to Friday, so it fits with most people's diaries. So Saturday 10 till 2, you come and see us in person, and then your self-study you can completely set up yourself, whether that be 2 blocks of 2 hours, 4 blocks of 1 hour, 8 blocks of half an hour, whatever it is, so that you can make up those 4 hours and build it around your life and how you do it. That's absolutely fine. So as I say, we have people that are working full-time, coming in now and doing it alongside that, so that they can escape the life or the job or whatever that they don't like and do a job doing something that they love, be that training, because most of the time someone has a normal job, it doesn't fulfill them. They go to the gym, maybe they get a really good result, or they just love it and want to help people and they want to do that for a job. So in order to do that, there's a little bit of work in between, but it can be done, as I say, alongside a full-time job, and that's what most people do. How much time do I need to dedicate each week? So, as I say, on average, students will need to do 4 hours of self-study each week. That can be broken up however you like. It all depends on the person. I personally recommend to break that up into as small chunks as you can. When acquiring any new skills or knowledge, the frequency is more important than the duration, if you will. So one block of 4 hours would be not as effective as if you could do 4 1-hour blocks over the course of the week, for example, because it's 4 times in which the things that you're studying are going in your brain and your mind, rather than just at one time per week and then waiting 7 days to come back to it again. So I would recommend working on frequency, and over the course of the week, 4 hours of studying, and then you've got the 4 hours of practical in which you'll come and see us on the Saturday, which that is in one block. But we obviously also recommend you could go away and you could practice, or you could just make sure you're in and around gym environments in your own training sessions for some of the other times during the week as well. What if I fall behind or struggle to keep up? So most of the people, not to generalize here, but most of the people coming into the fitness industry aren't normally the most academic. That's not true in all cases, but it's more often than not the case. So most people aren't very good at revising and studying and all of that stuff, and they've not done it for a very long time. So if that's you, you're not on your own, and you're exactly like most people coming into it. Very rarely do you find someone that's really, really academic then wanting to... It just doesn't normally fit that way. People that are personal trainers are quite practical people, and they're not necessarily bookworms. There's always outliers in that, but more often than not, most people are starting from the same place, and most people need a little bit of extra support, and that's fine. We have people that have maybe trained their whole life, but never really understood the detail of how or why things happen. And so when they start studying, it can be a little bit overwhelming. So there is support there to help. We just encourage you to communicate with us as much as possible. And as mentioned before, the course is set over a period of 10 weeks. But if it takes you 12 or 14 or 15 or 20, that's fine. We'll work with you until you get the job done. The biggest thing that you can do, or the most important thing that you can do if you're struggling, is just put your hand up and ask for help. And then we'll dedicate some time, be that on Zoom, on a phone call, before or after the practical workshop, to spend a bit of time with you and make sure that you've got what you need to get over the bit that you're stuck with ultimately. Okay, number 8, do I need to have a background in fitness or be super fit to take this course? So you don't necessarily need to have like a really structured or sporting background or anything like that. It certainly helps to have an understanding of what it is to train before you come in. And in most cases, people do, because that's what kind of is the gateway to them wanting to be a personal trainer. It's usually not that I have zero experience and, I want to be a personal trainer. It's normally someone goes on a journey, a fitness journey themselves, enjoys what they do, and then they want to make a career out of it. That's mostly the journey as to what happens. However, if your fitness journey is a little bit more limited, all of the content on the course is designed as ultimately to get you from 0 to 100 in terms of the knowledge that you need and have. So everyone, no matter what their previous knowledge, will be going through the same level of content together. And so if you need a little bit more time to get through it, again, that's absolutely fine. In terms of being super fit, not necessarily. Everyone's fit looks different. I've seen someone recently do a PT course who, when he started his fitness journey, he was something like 185 kilos and he lost like 50 kilos or something. And he then decided at, 120, 130 kilos or whatever, that he wanted to be a PT. Many people would look at him and they might judge and they might say he's not what a typical PT looks like, but he's been on a hell of a journey to get from point A to point B. And so he can help people that are authentically where he was at point A. So you don't necessarily need to be shredded, six-pack, athlete or what have you to be a PT. And more often than not, the most successful PTs aren't the ones that are the most shredded. They're the ones that are the most relatable to real people, because it's real people that you'll be training. Very rarely will you be dealing with athletes and things like that. Okay, number 9. I haven't studied in years. Will I struggle with the learning? I guess you don't know until you get started, but that's why the support is there if necessary. All the learning materials available are available for you to read, to watch, and so depending upon your learning style, you might find you have a preference to one or the other. I would always recommend trying to do both. I just find, again, going back to that frequency thing, like the more times that you can read stuff, write stuff, see stuff, it's going to stick in your brain that little bit longer. If you're someone who hasn't studied in years or, isn't that academic, it might be that you need to put a little bit more time aside each week. So it might be that instead of 4 hours, it might be the 5 or the 6. It might be that you do an hour a day instead of an hour 4 days a week or what have you. And that might just help you catch up with someone maybe that is a little bit more intelligent or a little bit further down the line than you in terms of their fitness knowledge or what have you. So it might mean that you just need to put in a little bit more work. It doesn't mean that you can't do it ultimately. I was never good at science. Will I understand the anatomy and physiology? Yeah, absolutely. Because most people that go to the gym, that start their PT journey, don't know why they're doing what they're doing in the gym. They just know that they do a chest press, for example, because they want to get a big chest, or that they do a squat because they want to get big legs, but they don't actually know the breakdown of the A&P or the anatomy and physiology side of things. So again, most people are coming at it from a very, very low level of knowledge, so it's likely that nobody's going to be much beyond what you are. Again, if it's something that you struggle with, you just have to apply a little bit more time or a little bit more frequency each week. And maybe those 10 weeks become 12, 13, 14 or 15 weeks to get you over the line. But again, it's our job essentially to help you pass. And you won't fail, you'll just quit before that you pass. So we'll work with you until we can get you over the line ultimately. But as I say, everyone pretty much starts in a very similar spot, especially when it comes to the sort of specifics of the anatomy and the physiology. Okay, number 11. What if I don't feel confident coaching people? Well, to be honest, when I qualified back in 2009, it's a long time ago, I was much younger then, my communication skills weren't as good, and it's just something that comes in time. You have to be willing to put yourself out of your comfort zone. You will get better the more and more hours that you do, the more and more hours that you clock up, and the more that you deal with people. So there's got to be some element of discomfort there. But what I would say is the way that the course is set up means that you're going to be working with people for 10 weeks, every single week on a Saturday afternoon with us. So you're going to be working in pairs and you're going to be practicing all the things that we go through under our watch, under our guidance, if you will, to make sure that you're doing it correctly, and we'll give you points to work on if necessary. But that alone will help you build the confidence of dealing with people. There'll be a case study that you do, but we also recommend essentially just doing little mini case studies and mini trials with people that you know that want some help, so that you can develop those skills and that experience of being on the gym floor actually helping someone. One of the biggest tips I would give someone who is newly qualified or close to qualifying is just ask people that you know, Facebook, social media, friends, family members, to put the hand up for them some free coaching. And you can help them get results. So they're going to get something out of it by getting results, and you're getting a lot out of it in terms of experience, understanding people, understanding how to coach, understanding the things that come up in terms of what they need help with, and that will help you build that confidence on the gym floor. But sometimes, to go back to the first part of the answer, if you will, you do have to be a little bit uncomfortable at first in order to get more confident. Ultimately, you can't get more confidence without doing the thing that you don't have confidence with. You just have to have the courage to do it anyway. I'm worried that I won't be good enough. What if I fail? So the only way you can fail this course is if you decide to quit. We'll work with you until you pass. So providing that you're willing to show up, providing that you're willing to do the work, providing that you're willing to put the hours of studying, use the support that's there from us and the other people in the group as well, you will be fine. But if you decide that you can't put the work in, that's the only time in which that you will fail this course. Number 13, can I start earning money straight after qualifying? Absolutely. You just need to be qualified. The course in which we do is insurable. Some courses are not, so that's an important thing to recognise. So it's recognised by all the insurers as a legit course, if you will. You can start practicing as soon as you've got your certificate. So the day you pass your practical and you pass the course is the day that you're technically qualified. You can't start practicing until you've got that certificate in your hands. You then need to ensure that you are insured, that you have emergency first aid, especially if you're going to be working alone. But yeah, you're ready to get going and get started straight away, which is why a good tip would always be to be ahead of the game and have a plan as to what's going to happen once you qualify. That's something we do. We go through an exercise with you that allows you to know what the next 4 phases look like for you, whether it's going full-time to part-time to full-time PT or whatever that might look like for you. So we'll help you build that out. Do you help with getting a job or starting my own business? Yes, absolutely we do. So we are going to be offering a back-end offer or support structure, if you will, whereby when you complete the course, that's not the end. We'll be offering you a level of mentorship so that you can get your first 5 to 10 clients, get on the gym floor and start practicing as a PT and ultimately start making some money as a PT. So we will be offering some support in that sense. And in terms of getting a job, most PTs are self-employed, but sometimes you have to interview for a position on a gym floor if it's in a commercial gym. We have some relationships with gyms in Preston, so we'll be looking to offer guaranteed interviews to our students so we can support with that as well. Okay, number 15, how much can I earn as a personal trainer? This varies massively depending upon whether you're doing like one-to-one or group stuff or what have you. Most PTs now aren't charging anything less than 25 to 30 per hour, which is quite low in this current day and age. PTs were charging 25 quid back in like 2005. Most PTs now will be charging in and around sort of 35 to 50 per hour. Depending upon where you're located, it might be well above 50. Areas of, you know, things like London and stuff like that, it'll be well upwards of 50. Obviously, your total income is going to be dependent upon how many sessions that you do. So it's important to have a fully phased out plan as to how many sessions or clients that you need in order to earn what you need to earn, be that to quit your current job or go part-time or whatever. And as I say, we have a structure which will help you build out what your 4-phase plan is to basically being a fully fledged PT. Can I do online coaching with this qualification? Yes, you can. What I would probably say to do first is earn your stripes. I don't know if that's the right thing to say, but get used to dealing with people in person first, and that will help you understand a lot more about people, what support they need, and all of that stuff so that you can be a better coach and a better PT. If you then want to add on some online coaching on top of that, which is definitely a growing market, it's still early, I think, but there's definitely more and more people doing it, and it was accelerated by COVID, definitely a lot. Yes, you can, but as I say, I would probably recommend getting some focus put on your bread and butter, your one-to-one PT first, build that up, and then add that on at a later date when you're more confident at dealing with people. Otherwise, it can get a bit confusing, and also it can be confusing to your market in terms of what you're doing. It's like, is he a one-to-one PT? Is he an online coach? What is he? I don't really know. You want people to come to you for one particular reason, and then maybe down the line after that, once you've sort of built a reputation there, you can add something else on rather than diluting what it is that you're trying to do. Okay, so last few questions. Number 17, how much does the course cost? So the course costs £1,749. We run early bird promotions when we first release the information of our next course, which can be savings of up to £250. Some people pay up front, some people we have payment plans for, depending upon their situation. So we're quite flexible with people. The minimum required to confirm a place on a course is £200. And then in order to receive your certificate, once you've qualified, the full balance must be paid at that point. So as I say, there are payment plans whereby you can still be paying for portions of the course whilst the course is running. Right, we've covered payment plans, so we're going to go to 19. Are there any costs like exam fees? No, there are no hidden costs. So everything that you need for the course is going to be provided to you. If you decide that you want to buy extra books or textbooks or something to further your learning, that would be at your own cost, but everything you need to essentially qualify as a PT is included within the course. If you decide that you still want some level of support after you've qualified, we would talk about that at that point then. But everything that you need to get to the point of starting your course and qualifying is included within the price. Okay, final question, number 20. What if I sign up and realise it's not for me? I would probably say that it's unlikely that's going to happen. If you've decided that you really want to make that change in career and you're committed to it, from week one, you will start to really enjoy it, especially when you do that first practical session. The theory side of things can be a little bit overwhelming. That's why we allow people access to the portal as soon as they pay their deposit or their first payment, so that they can get a little bit of a head start. We send all the booklets over. So if someone was to, commit a month or 2 months before the course starts, they've got an extra couple of months to get their head stuck into the content on there. And sometimes that can make things a little bit less overwhelming from when they first start and feel like they've only got 10 weeks to do it ultimately. If it really isn't something that you want to do and it doesn't work out, and as you know, you're really struggling with certain bits, then we can have that conversation then. But as I say, what we find is when most people start, they are committed to the cause, they want to become a PT, and they really value the way in which the course is structured with regards to getting that practical support. But as I say, if that situation does arise, we would just be able to speak about that on a one-to-one basis, basically. Okay, so that is all the questions I've got for the frequently asked questions for the Level 3 PT Diploma course. So we will speak to you all very soon. Thanks for tuning in for today's episode. I hope you found that useful and valuable. If you'd like to hear more from us, all you need to do is hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next episode.